Welcome to another episode of Listen to Us Rant About Movies. I'm Wes Ford.
And I'm Zach Harris.
We rant about movies and drink while we do it. Except tonight, we're not going to be drinking an adult beverage on this episode. However, we will be discussing what we've been watching, including the films we've chosen for each other last episode, followed by a review of Spike Lee's new film, BlacKkKlansman.
Also, remember that this podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/LTURAM. Choose from 180,000 titles from your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And if you like what you hear, remember you can find other episodes on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube.
Now we're going to get into our latest segment. This is our forced film rant. That's our temporary title for right now. It may stick. Who knows? And we're going to talk about the films we chose for each other on the last episode. Zach, you want to start it off? You watched a film called
Sing Street.
What'd you think?
It was fun. It was good. I enjoyed it. Like, I didn't love it, but I definitely thought it was fun and really enjoyed it. The music, I think, is also legitimately good, which helps it a lot.
Yeah.
And I also liked that even though the music was good, they weren't, like, portraying them as, like, cool. I really enjoyed how every time he was, like, introduced to a new type of music, he would, like, show up, like aping that style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really funny. I thought it was kind of weird at the end that it placed so much emphasis on, like, brothers, like, in the last, like, 20 minutes of the movie, and then, like, ends with that message, like, for brothers everywhere. I was kind of like, what? Like, it's kind of weird. Like, it's not really...
I don't remember that.
Yeah, like, I also wasn't crazy about the end of the movie in general.
Totally get that. It's super cheesy.
Yeah.
Super cheesy.
Especially, and I think you could have potentially done the same idea, but, like, done it in a different way that felt less so. Just the actual last shot, I don't think
I know.
the performance is there in it.
I know.
But yeah, and then for it to end and it's like, for brothers everywhere, I was like, huh? like,
okay.
I get that. I get the brother relationship in it, but I don't think that feels like the focus of the movie. You know what I mean?
No, it's about the girl. It's like literally all about the girl.
Yeah.
That's why they formed the band.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's very strange. But yeah, I liked it. I almost wish it was longer because it seemed like they were going for a lot of things that, like, I feel like it's a common thing in movies about bands that just inevitably two of the band members just, like, aren't characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Like those two guys that just see the flyer and they're like, cool, let's do it. And they're just, like, in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they never really, like, get into them at all. Which is fine. It's not. The movie's not about them, but, like, I think it could have worked. Like, I guess I enjoyed the moments where it was just, like, the kids hanging out the most. So, if there was more of that, I would have been into it. Basically, like the scene of when he first goes over there with the three of them to talk about the band. I thought it was really funny, and, like, his mom keeps, like, bringing them out food. It's like, clearly we can't talk here. And it's like, don't smoke in the shed. He's like, Mom, I don't smoke. It just, like, cuts them all smoking in the shed. Like, stuff like that was really funny.
Yeah. It's the pacing starts to feel a little weird near the end.
Yeah, totally.
Too. It, like, starts to pick up, and it's, like, starting to jump all around. It's like, it had a good, like, the first half of the movie felt good.
Yeah,
you know?
totally. it felt really nice, and it was introducing the characters well, and like I was liking most of them, and it felt like it was much more about the him and the girl's relationship, like, alone, and less about their relationship in the context of, like, the band and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it was fun. The songs are good. I liked most of the performances. I think the main character at times wasn't the best, but I think also sometimes it played...
That was his first acting gig.
And I think sometimes it almost plays on that strength.
Yeah.
But other times, like the ending where it's just like holding on his face, it was like, I don't know if this is working, but
yeah.
But yeah,
it's a little rough around the edges, but I'm glad you had some fun with it.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Cool. So what would you rate that movie?
I give it like 3.5.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Cool. Yeah, I watched the film you assigned to me. I watched Stalker.
Carve out some 3 hours there.
Yeah, just carve out a nice
hearty chunk.
Nice hearty chunk of 3 hours.
Yeah.
Watched it over the weekend. Yeah, it's I enjoyed it. It was good. It's a good movie, and it sucks that it took me so long to get to it. But hey, this is what this is for, right?
Yeah.
This
you got to it now.
Me to do this, right?
Yeah, totally.
There were definitely times it felt way too long, though. Like I was almost struggling a little bit. It's like, okay, where are we at? Okay, we're halfway. Okay. But other than that, like I can see the respect around this film. For its time, it's pretty outstanding. And I loved the feel of it. I love the feel of the movie.
It has a very interesting vibe, and it's like
it does
weirdly scary, but doesn't. It's like hard to describe why, and it's really.
But yeah, it's just sort of bizarre because it's like in this. I really like those 70s and 80s like alternate future sort of visions of the future. It was always like these dark, weird worlds.
Yeah,
and I think that's always like a fun, interesting place to explore for those movies. But so it kind of lived in that era. Almost felt like it could have lived in the world of like Clockwork Orange or something. Like that totally. Kind of like future. But I got a lot of strong Annihilation vibes.
Oh,
from this
definitely.
Movie, actually,
yeah.
I like that the book was clearly like inspired from this film. You know,
definitely.
like it takes a lot of the same elements. Like even like not naming the actual characters that's in the book carries on into the movie, where they don't really have names; they just have titles.
Yeah.
And the whole obviously the main idea of the zone, it's the same as Area X or the Shimmer in the Annihilation movie. So I thought that was all pretty interesting. I was like, okay, cool.
Totally.
I'm digging this. And yeah, it was interesting to see like the origination of probably the concept of that idea for that whole thing, Annihilation.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite movies this year. So that was cool as well. I didn't know how to feel, or I guess I don't quite understand the ending either. Near the I was into it the whole way until near the end. I was like, maybe I just need to see it again, but I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of interpretation behind that. I haven't read up on it. I haven't or anything like that. So this is just my opinion, but I don't fully understand the ending.
It's definitely. When did you watch it? Over the weekend? Yeah. Definitely take some time to marinate. You know.
It was like on Sunday. A few days. I did say that it took it was too long, but I liked the long buildup of them traveling through the zone.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's amazing. Like, it's super.
I enjoyed that a lot. Yeah, and having the stalker be like the expert on it and just describing all these weird things, that they're like weird things happening around them, and it's such a cool and ingenious way to do the concept, because it doesn't require much of a budget at all. They just found this old abandoned building, town, whatever it is, and with these cool scenes like water going through it, and like it was awesome.
And there's such intensity placed on because of all these aspects of what's happening in the zone that, like you're saying, it's a really interesting way of portraying that, which is I think why I didn't like it when I watched it in high school, because I was like expecting, everyone's like, oh, it's just like classic sci-fi, like it's so good, you know, like, and I love it, but I think I was expecting something visually like that on paper, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, but now I think I like it even more that it's not. It's just, it's a very interesting way of framing that.
Yeah, totally. And just the simple thing of like going from like sepia tone to color. Very simple, cheap way to express the differences between the two, and
totally.
Just some of the use of the lighting, like the location, just really cool. It did feel like this like weird like phantom zone, like this weird like dimension or something.
It's just a really good tone. Just really nailing that Carpenter on the tone, you know.
With perfect tone. Yeah, it's perfect on the tone. And the craft as well was just fantastic. I'd give this movie 5 stars.
Nice. Yeah, it's a fucking banger. Like, it's long, but it's a banger.
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
But yeah, it's a great movie, and glad I finally watched it.
Did you get the crit? How'd you watch it?
No, I just rented it on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I gotcha. Do you know if it was the new transfer?
I don't know. It did look pretty decent.
Okay.
I just watched it on my computer though, so I didn't have like any crazy quality out of it.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Streaming it on there, but now that I've watched it, I probably will pick up the Criterion though.
That Criterion transfer is unbelievable. It looks so fucking good. I bought the Tarkovsky box set from there was a UK one that came out, and I got it, and it's like all his movies. But it was this old transfer, and then like right after the Criterion came out, and it was like, it just looks too good. I had to double dip.
I think it might have actually been the transfer, now that I'm thinking about it, because it did have the Criterion logo beforehand.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's probably like a compressed version of that transfer. But yeah, it did look pretty good. I mean, it looked cleaned up and everything. Now that I'm thinking back on it, there wasn't any like. It was very minimum like film damage and stuff like that.
Yeah, totally.
So
spick and span.
Yeah. Good flick.
Nice. Glad you dug, man.
Yeah. So now we're going to reveal the films that we're going to choose for each other to discuss next week. Zach, the film I've chosen for you is Logan.
Nice.
Yeah. Perhaps, in my opinion, probably, or definitely, it's upper tier X-Men quality film. And a pretty good surprise compared to other films in that tier. So I'm interested to. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the film.
So it's also interesting. This $14.79 4K price tag on Logan is very interesting.
I would say grab it because it looks fantastic on 4K Blu-ray, and it definitely ups the enjoyment of the film, in my opinion.
Might have to pop on that. You know, it's weird though.
Nice.
There's 2 versions here on Amazon. One's 14, one is 20. Did they release one sans black and white cut? Because if I'm buying this thing, I want to buy the one with the fucking different cut, right?
Well, don't get the black and white cut, but I believe the one that I have has both cuts.
Okay.
And I think that was on the initial release. I got it like the day it came out.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like a superhero western. It's got those nice desert reds and
which cut do I watch?
Watch the color.
Watch the color.
100%.
Is the black and white cut in 4K or just on a Blu-ray
It
package?
Is in 4K.
Okay.
It is in 4K, and it also looks good, but it wasn't shot for black and white.
Yeah,
you
totally.
know what I mean? You can tell it's a transfer. It's an interesting gimmick, but it's the color's where it's at. You gotta watch the color.
Fair enough.
There's neon lights there. It just looks good. You know, you gotta get the color.
Good to know.
Yeah. So Logan, curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
Next episode. What's the film you chose for me?
Fantastic Planet.
Ooh. It's one of your favorite films, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm all about it. And I think you'll like it. Once again, sci-fi. You're a sci-fi boy. It's got some cool sci-fi concepts in it. Do you know what it's about at all?
Not really. I've seen some like clips and stuff, but I don't really know what it's about. Aliens, right?
Yeah.
It's like kind of somewhat animated, right?
It's like all hand animated.
Oh, okay, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's really cool art style.
Do I have to drop money to see this film?
I don't know. That's what I was just going to look up. I didn't want to make you have to purchase it. But yeah, it's just a fucking winner. I'm a very large fan.
It's available to rent, so I will probably do that.
Nice.
And if I love it, I'll pick up the Crit, just like I'm probably going to pick up Stalker.
Yeah,
at
man.
some point.
Next sale. I forgot this was out on Crit. Man, I got to get that Crit.
It's on the Crit. You don't have the Crit?
No, I have the
shocking.
I bought the Eureka, the UK Blu-ray of it. That was like one of the first UK ones I got because I was like, what? But I'm sure the transfer is way better on that Crit. Woo! It looks nice from these stills. All right, anyway.
The art style looks interesting, so...
Yeah, it's really cool. Very cool art style.
I'm definitely curious. Cool, that's a good pick. Awesome. So those are our films we'll be watching, and we'll discuss next episode. That'll be Fantastic Planet and Logan. Now let's move on to our watch lists. What else have you been watching, Zach?
Been doing some heavy 4K watches. Recently.
Tastes so good.
Recently picked up that Planet of the Apes trilogy for a nice price.
Ooh.
Gave those a watch, and they all look fantastic on 4K. I'll say that. And
nice.
They're all enjoy the rewatches. You know, they're good. Threw on Rise one day when I came home sick, and then immediately watched Dawn right after, and then watched War the next day when I got home from work.
It's awesome.
So it was interesting to watch them in quick succession because I've seen them all only one time. You know.
Sure.
I still think the last one's probably the best one for me.
Really?
Yeah, but parts of the second one I like a lot, and I think visually the second one might be better.
Yeah, I seem to remember, I think overall liking the second one the best, but I need to rewatch them too. I haven't seen Rise since it came out, so I haven't seen that one forever.
It's a very easy watch. Goes by quick, you know. It's definitely the weakest of the three, but
right.
I think the second and third one are pretty comparable, but I think if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick the last one. The technology is just out of control. It's just,
oh my god, it's so impressive.
I think it's really the perfect balancing of like new technology in modern like blockbusters. I think it like really hits a nice balance where it's not gratuitously fake, and all the characters can be fake, but they can also be performances and also just look incredible, you know. It's really impressive, and I think it's a really good use of new tech and motion capture, whereas I think it gets lost in a lot of other movies because it's that on top of something else fabricated and like on top of something else, you know what I mean? And I think them playing in the real environments really help. And also it has the advantage of, looking like things that are real and not something that you automatically know is fake, but still it's really, really impressive. That third one, like, oh my God, the effects are
bet it looks amazing
out of control.
In 4K.
Mm-hmm. And it's also interesting to go back and watch Rise, and even though it still looks really good, just to see how far it came from the first
technology.
One. Yeah. Just like way infinitely better than the first.
It's crazy. Mm. And it was impressive then, you know?
Totally.
It's amazing how fast like our visual effects technology advances just constantly.
It's crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. So something I watched Bo Burnham's 8th Grade.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Got that in the theaters. I really liked it. I liked it a lot.
It's really good.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. Definitely made me feel uncomfortable at times. Yeah, and that's the intention. But and it made me somewhat terrified to be a parent.
Yeah, totally.
Like, what a crazy time. Well, for one, middle school is the worst, and then with like technology of today, it's so much different than even you and I were in school. It's like it's crazy. It's but the girl's performance, her name escapes me. What is her name?
Yeah,
I gotta look up. 8th Grade. Elsie Fisher. She does a pretty good job.
Yeah, she's really good.
She really portrays that character in the best possible way. Just like this awkward teen girl, like just trying to be cool and like make it, really just hit the nail on the head for the film. And I definitely could see Bo Burnham's like comedy kind of seeping in there, for those funny moments. Like that really felt like him writing in there.
Totally.
Which was great. But just overall very impressive first feature film from a guy who's never made one. Very impressive, and definitely a highlight for this year, I think.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it a lot. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, I did. Really liked it. Yeah.
Nice.
So what else you got on your list?
I started watching She's Gotta Have It, the show. The Spike Lee show. Netflix.
Yeah.
Just fucking killer, man. Don't know why I haven't watched this thing. I've heard, too. Everyone said it was really good when it came out, and I was like, oh, I should watch that, and then I just never did. And shit, it is really good. I'm loving it.
It's on Netflix? Interesting. Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't really know much about it.
It's basically about a woman who lives in New York. She's an artist, and it's her seeing 3 guys and just kind of, bouncing between them, trying to keep things casual, but everyone's kind of trying to go after her, and each episode kind of deals with different things. It's very episodic, but it also has a lot of really good through line. Yeah, it's really, really good. Great performances, good writing, insane style, just going crazy. Like,
really?
Yeah, it's really, really interesting. Yeah, it's amazing. Lots of cool like monologues toward the camera. Like most episodes start with just like a shot pushing in of someone, of like the main character addressing the camera, and like lots of really good music, and then every time they use a song, it just like will cut to the album cover.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like, all right. like
okay.
Really crazy visual style. Really cool editing. It's great. It's amazing.
Nice. I watched a very old film for the first time. I've had this DVD forever, and finally was like, I want to watch that. I haven't watched it. And that is Paths of Glory.
Oh, nice.
Stanley Kubrick film. I'm I'm a big fan. I'm a big boy fan of little Stanley Kubrick.
Big boy fan,
as the kids say.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I never watched this one, but I did, and I enjoyed it.
It's pretty great.
It's great. The 1957 film takes place in World War I or during World War I, starring Kirk Douglas, and it was just great, and you really get to see his style start to develop there. You know, you get to see his sensibilities come out, and the way that they do in a film like that old, it had to be insane for the time.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like, I'm sure it was revolutionary at the time. The style, the sense of the story, the pacing, and everything else, it was good. So yeah, glad I watched it, and I'll probably pick that up on Criterion as well.
Yeah,
at some point.
Getting a big, crit list here.
I'd like to see the transfer on that, because, like I said, I watched it on a DVD, so was not the best quality. You know, very old. It was not even any cleanup. You know, back then when the DVDs were starting to come out, you know, it was like they just put like the transfer and slapped them on. Like there wasn't any cleanup or anything.
This is the old like MGM DVD with like the maroon spine.
Yep. That's exactly it. That's nice. What I have. And I bought that when they all went out of business, but the movie store we used to go to, you remember?
Yeah, Movie Stop.
Movie Stop. They're all out of business. But I got that way back in the day for like $2, you know. Man. And I just never watched it.
That place was the dream, dude.
I miss it so much.
Yeah.
I really do. It was awesome. I used to just go there during like my lunch, even like a couple years ago. I think it went out of business like probably 3 years ago. And I'd go during my lunch and just go over there and browse some stuff. You know, that's where I got my movies. That's where I picked up my Blu-rays. And now it's Amazon. You know, it's like it sucks.
It does.
It's physical media is just disappearing. It's a bummer. It's like just nice to browse. You know.
I know. Yeah.
It's just nice to browse, to look around, look at the films.
I would buy way more stuff if like there was a place that had the type of movies that I wanted to buy. Because like it's a struggle to find things at Best Buy unless it's like the main thing that came out that week. Yeah. You know. Even so, sometimes it is. Like
I know.
Isle of Dogs, just not available at any Best Buy in Chicago on Blu-ray. It's just like, what? You know, like I thought that I was just gonna like waltz into any store and buy that. You know what I mean? It's just like
I know. It's you would think.
It's bogus.
Side little tangent. Yeah. Why isn't it on 4K?
I don't know, man. It's got me sad because it was announced on 4K, and I had it pre-ordered. They canceled the pre-order. Page doesn't exist. Then a glimmer of hope. Australia still had 4K listed for pre-order, and I was like, ooh.
I had heard that.
Baby, I am getting that Australian 4K, and it's going to be delightful. And then day of release, taken down. Literally got to work, and I was like, time to order that 4K, baby. And then...
Yeah, that's why I've held off, because I was sort of just hoping like it would come out later. But I guess I'll just buy the Blu-ray. Like I still don't own it.
Once that 4K from Australia was down, I was like, all right, I'm buying this thing. Fuck it. $15 too at the time, so it was like, maybe this is their plan though. They're like, then we lower the price right away. We cancel that Australian 4K that everyone's holding out for. Everyone's holding it. I don't know.
It would look so good.
It would look unbelievable. Because
I think that'd be the first Wes Anderson film on 4K as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because also, it's like, what are they even shooting in with those stills? You know what I mean?
I know. It would look insane.
High as fuck, res. You know, like that res is real high. So that 4K is going to be popping.
That's a bummer.
Oh, just brutal. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll be the first Criterion 4K and we'll all rejoice.
Oh, that'd be amazing. But yeah, anyway, back to what we were saying. I miss Movie Stop.
Yeah, totally. Movie Stop was the best.
And one other thing I wanted to mention about that was I just like the fact you go in. Sometimes I had extra copies, especially with the 4Ks going on. I got extra copies of movies. I go in, you trade those in, you get credit. You can buy other movies.
Totally.
You know? I did that all the time. I traded in stuff all the time, DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
And just a bummer.
I've got big stacks of Blu-rays and DVDs that I'm just like waiting to sell, but I know I'll get nothing for them.
Yeah.
Because like the only place I can either sell them individually on eBay or something, or I can go to the record store here that sells movies and sell them. But then it's not even worth it.
Probably nothing.
Yeah, it's not even worth it to get cash because it's going to be like half the amount. So then it's like you got to get credit, and then I just wait until there's something I want to buy, and then I just like a new record comes out, then I just like take a bunch of stuff there and just like trade it essentially. But it's still trading like 15 titles for like one vinyl. You know, it's just like it's bogus. Some of which are rare, and I see on eBay listed for like chunks of cheddar. But then it's like, what am I gonna do? Spend all this time fucking making an eBay store? I guess. Maybe I should. People do that. Maybe I should do that. Watch Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World. Which are...
How is that?
Just a pair of 2-star movies, you know what I mean?
I watched those somewhat recently as well.
Both about the same level of quality, I'd say, for different reasons. Maybe Jurassic World's a little better than Jurassic Park 3.
You think so?
Maybe. I don't know.
I rate 3 a little like higher.
Yeah. I think there's like there's aspects of Jurassic World that seem inspired, but there's other stuff that's just like the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like the storyline,
it's pretty dumb,
of the owner of the park like being a helicopter enthusiast, and it's like then that thing like the big event happens and they're just like, we need a pilot, but none of them can fly right now, and it's like, we don't need one, we have one. And it's just like, what? This is like big majestic thing where he's flying the helicopter. I like that he just dies though, but
yeah,
it's just kind of like, why is this in the movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Pretty goofy. Just non-characters. Just like a bunch of people who gives a shit about him. But then in Jurassic Park 3, you got Téa Leoni, who's like terribly written character and just literally screams the whole movie, and it's like so annoying. You know?
It's really annoying. It's really annoying.
And you got what's his face, the young buck. It's no one knew his name when we were watching it. It's like, who plays the young buck? Just referred to him as the young buck in the movie. But with that guy who like steals the eggs, and it's just like, jeez.
I know.
But it does have Sam Neill, so it might have a little edge there.
Like, dude, it definitely gives it a little something, right?
Yeah.
Like Sam Neill, it's like, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Although he's totally just cashing in that check right there.
Oh,
like,
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
one thing I don't understand, though, I'll say first that I don't know why they think or don't care about there being a bigger dinosaur than a T-Rex. T-Rex, already very scary. There does not need to be a scarier version. Like, okay, like, the water monster in Jurassic World is bigger. That's the bigger one. Like, I don't need something that's bigger and badder than a T-Rex because that's already scary, you know?
That's just how they make the next one's gotta be bigger, but gotta be badder.
It doesn't make any sense, though, in the universe, because in 3, there's a dinosaur that's bigger than a T-Rex. And it's like, bigger than a T-Rex, Spinosaurus, which is the dumbest name ever. But then Jurassic World...
It's an actual dinosaur.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's actually based on a real dinosaur.
Called
the one in Jurassic World. Yes.
That is a real dinosaur.
Yeah, because I remember reading an article when the movie came out.
Were they stoned when they came up with the name? Like, oh shit, I can't think of anything else. Call it a Spinosaurus. Anyway.
Yeah, it might have it like, I mean, it has a scientific name that's not Spinosaurus, but I remember an article when that movie came out. It was based on an actual, like a recent discovery at the time when that movie came out. Jurassic World, though, that clearly made up.
But I don't understand why in Jurassic World they talk about and compare it to a T-Rex when there's already something bigger. You know what I mean? In this progression of movies, 3, they go, is that, sounds like a T-Rex. And he literally goes, no, it's bigger. You know, it like pushes it on his face. And they establish that. And then in the next one, they're like, it's bigger than a T-Rex. It's like, so the same size as the one that was bigger last time? You know what I mean? It's just like, huh? Like, why don't they reference that at all? It's just not referenced. It seems weird, right?
Yeah, totally.
I thought that was a little goofy.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the latest one, Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I literally just like don't have a desire to see it. Unless I don't see it on like Netflix or something.
It sounds really weird. Like I don't know how that can be a movie. From what I've read about it, it's like dinosaurs in a haunted mansion or something. Like, and I'm kind of intrigued just because that sounds like a really bad idea, but it might be like so far out there that it makes it weirdly interesting again. But from what I've heard, I don't know if that's the case. We'll see though. I have heard a few good things about it though.
I'm lying to myself. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna watch it.
It's Jurassic Park. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just not in a rush to. But yeah, I've just heard that some directions there it goes, it's just very bizarre. Mm-hmm. Like some of the choices that are made.
I watched Jurassic Park 3, and then the next day I watched Jurassic World like earlier, and then I was like, maybe I'll just go see it right now. But I finished it. I was like, well, that movie's really bad. I shut it off. It's like, well, maybe I'll go see the sequel this minute. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But then I didn't. Because that was when all the movie pass calamity was happening. So I couldn't.
Yeah.
Which is fucked.
Oh, man.
This will mark... BlacKkKlansman review will mark the first review in a long time that I had to fucking pay for, dude. I had to... Can you believe it?
Welcome back.
I had to pay
back to the real world
to see a fucking movie, Wes.
Welcome back to the real world.
I know. Just people... It's hysterical because it's just like... I mean, me too. It's like, man, I gotta pay for this thing? You know, just standing somewhere being like,
right.
Yeah, you always had to. You know, it's just like, you telling me I gotta pay $13 to see this? It's like, yeah, like 8 months ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah,
exactly.
Okay. You know?
Yeah, we talked about this. Your perception is spoiled now.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little bogus, man. A little bogus, although I haven't used it since all that happened. Because here's the other thing: quick beef.
Yeah. Quick beef.
My main problem with it now. Okay, you're minimizing it to 3 movies a month, whatever.
Yeah.
$5 discount. Not expecting it. That's total bullshit. Whatever.
Right.
But you need to have consistent times on the fucking app. You can't drop something like an hour before. That's the shit bullshit. That's making people more mad, I would say. Like, that's I know I'm not getting my money back, so, I mean, it's still very reasonable to get 3 free movies. It's still, you see 1 movie, and you're already saving money. So, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, Sean and I were going to go see BlacKkKlansman. We're, like, 11 a.m., looking at show times, pull up Movie Pass. Hey, it's on there. Let's go after work. Get off work, check again on my way there, gone. No showings at the entire theater. And it's like, you can't, within like 6 hours, just like drop all the showings at a theater.
Yeah. You gotta do it by week by week basis.
Yeah.
At least, you know?
Or like on a day.
People plan this
like,
stuff.
Hey, it's Friday. No, you can't go see this movie today. That blows, but you know what? Okay. But like, if I check when I'm like making plans earlier in the day and then I can't go later in the day, that's fucked. You got to have it be consistent throughout a day.
Right.
Like, if I checked in the morning and it just said none, I go, okay, well, do we want to go or do we not want to?
Right.
Not, oh, let's go. And then you get there and you're like, well, okay, I guess not.
It's bullshit.
You know, like.
Yeah. I heard about this, do you hear about how people are trying to cancel their subscription?
No.
And it's not letting them.
Wow.
It's not letting them drop their, because people are paying monthly, you pay by a year. Those people have been trying to drop, and like it literally will like, it says that they like have unsubscribed, and then they'll like refresh the page and they like haven't unsubscribed. It's like it won't let people stop paying for the service.
Wow, that is fucked.
It's like, you guys are, this is fucked. Like, you guys are going down. Like,
yeah, totally.
There's gonna be some legal action happening.
Yeah, if you don't
soon.
fucking cancel those people's things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Plus
pretty
everything
bad.
else. Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Terrible business.
Yep.
Good idea, bad business.
Yeah, just like not sustainable at all. Just clearly not sustainable. Because when you heard about it, you went, no way. I literally didn't get it for like 4 months. And Sean had it. We'd talk about it all the time. And he'd just be like, I don't know why you don't have this. And I was like, it doesn't work. I was just like, it's not real. That's why I don't have it. And he's like, no, it's real. I use it all the time. And then I was like, wow, it is real. Like, I gotta get one.
It's a real thing.
But
this is too good to be true. Get it now.
Yeah. Those times are over. It's the dark days now. Having to fucking pay for shit. Jesus.
Moving on. I'll mention 2 more films that I watched. Both rewatches. Got on a little Tarantino kick.
Nice.
I rewatched Django Unchained and rewatched Inglourious Bastards.
Nice.
Just good watches. I haven't watched them in a while. You know, it's been a long time. Django, good movie, but it's no Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards is amazing.
It's amazing. It's a really good film. Like,
definitely.
Django is like more, I don't know. It just doesn't have that same quality to it. Everything about it doesn't have that same quality. It's enjoyable, but it's not. Inglourious Bastards has like, it feels like it's a solid up movie for Tarantino. You know.
Yeah, and Django feels more like he's really going for like the exploitation thing.
Yeah. Especially
in the fact that it's just too long and like meanders and you're just like, shit, is this thing over? And it's like almost to a fault an exploitation movie, because like I feel like I watch those like old movies a lot just for fun, like when you're drinking beers or something, and they're all just too fucking long and like too stretched out and like could be better in the edit. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I feel like the end of that movie is pretty flawed, for me at least. And I think that's what brings it down. But like you were saying, just like Inglourious Bastards is just real nice. Just really good.
It's just a killer film.
I'd say it's definitely my favorite of his movies, personally.
I struggle back and forth between that and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
As is best. But those are both like top. But yeah, Inglourious Bastards, man, it's a great film. It's got all these twists and turns around every corner, great dialogue, great scenes, great characters, goes against all your expectations, and just feels so satisfying in the end.
Really interesting structure too. It's like not
it totally
it's
is.
Like what, 8 scenes or something, like the whole movie. It's really not that many scenes. Like if you, I mean, it's probably more than 8, but like if you think about it, like there's not that many set changes. All the scenes are like very extended and take place in one space normally.
In a way, it almost follows a similar structure in Pulp Fiction, in the fact that you have like different stories that are revolving around like one event.
Yeah, totally.
I'm just realizing like it even has like the chapters, but that's really what it is. Like very similar in Pulp Fiction in that way. Maybe that's why it's effective, because it kind of takes on that similar pacing. But yeah, I mean, they're just long scenes that play out with different characters, and they just kind of collide in the end.
Yeah.
Some people think the opening scene is like too long, and sure, it's long.
It's
amazing.
It's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And probably my favorite opening of any of his movies.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. That shot that's just like pushing in on Christoph Waltz's face as he like looks out over the field and like raises his pistol. His hat like tilted. It's just like, oh god, it's so good.
Yeah.
And just it feels like a classic like World War II era film. Too. It's just like, so good. And he's amazing in that movie.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He's so good. It's just a really classy movie. It's his most classy movie for sure. Like,
yeah.
Definitely feels substantial, like, watching it.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
You see it and you're like, this movie's gonna be around. Like, it's really good. And he fucking knows it, too. That, like, winky-ass ending. You know what I mean? Like, he fucking knows it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's like, this will be my masterpiece. Yeah. Wink, wink. Yeah. But
it's
anyway,
great, though.
That's what I've been watching
Nice.
lately.
Yeah, I don't really have much else.
Okay.
I watched Predator last night on 4K. Great transfer.
Yeah, I was saying before we got on, I need to rewatch it. And because the new one's coming out, it's like, that's a good time to revisit the original.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm going hard. I got the set. I'm watching Predator 2. I'm watching Predators. Gonna get them all.
Got all these good 4K sets.
I know.
I'm jealous.
I'm just popping on them. I'm starved, man. 4K drought. 4K drought, dude.
Just suck it all in, man. I love every second of every time I pop into 4K. It's just like,
just beautiful.
God, this just looks so much better than everything else.
Yeah, they're really nice. It seriously is like a problem though, because they don't put out enough movies on it. So then when ones come out, I just like rabidly have to have them. You know what I mean?
No.
Like the amount of times I've almost bought The Matrix, full well knowing that the box set is coming, and I just need to wait a month and a half. It would just be like, but I could just watch The Matrix right now.
I know. I've heard it looks really good too.
I'm sure it does.
I've heard it looks really good. I'm going to wait for the set, but man, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I've almost watched all my 4Ks now. I'm fucked, man. Nothing on the horizon. I still need to watch, I bought Unsane on 4K. Don't know how that one's going to look, but we'll see.
Might look a little rough just because it's the iPhone, but it still looks
shot
4K,
in 4K,
you know? Yeah, it's true.
I don't know if it was finished in 4K, but shot in 4K.
They might have like re-outputted UHD, you know, for the disc.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta pick up Logan. Pick up Logan. If you're starved for content, I'm telling you, really good transfer. Looks awesome. It looks fantastic. I'm
trying to convince my roommate to buy the John Wick set because I don't necessarily know if I want to own both John Wicks. But I definitely want to watch them on 4K.
Okay, I own both of them on 4K,
and they're really good.
And I'm very happy that I do because they're probably one of my better looking 4Ks.
Interesting.
Hands down.
Interesting.
They're up there, especially John Wick 2. John Wick 2 looks amazing. 4K. Like those blacks and the colors, fantastic.
What's real quick? Let's just give a quick survey on what's on the 4K horizon.
Okay.
So this past week, we got Avengers. Do you also pick up Van Wilder 4K? Why is that what they picked to come out? That is fun.
Why is that like a priority?
That is so stupid. And then next week, we got Deadpool 2 and the Jack Ryan 5-film collection, which contains Shadow Recruit, Sum of All Fears, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, Hunt for Red October.
Nice.
Probably won't be picking that one up, though. Week after that, ooh, forgot about this one. Hereditary coming out on 4K. Gonna be very nice.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that one for sure.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be very nice. as well as Bad Boys 1 and 2. Would I love to watch them? Absolutely. Should I buy them? Not so sure.
No, don't need to.
Definitely don't think I need to. Week after that, Christine. Interesting one.
Interesting.
I've already double dipped on Blu-ray with Christine, though, so I don't know if I can justify that.
Ooh.
Robin Hood, meh. Ocean's 8, didn't see it. Animated Batman, eh. Jurassic World, Solo. Some old horror coming up. We got Halloween and Evil Dead coming out on 4K.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Halloween, last week of September. Evil Dead, October 9th.
Oh, man.
Very curious how Evil Dead's going to look.
Yeah,
will I buy it?
Honestly...
Who knows? Who knows, Wes?
I honestly don't know if it would be that great unless they went like above and beyond to like restore that film.
And even if so, like I don't know if that's how I even want to watch it. You know, sometimes I like watching Evil Dead on like VHS.
No, totally get that. Maybe that one's not worth picking up just because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween though, I could do a 4K of Halloween.
Yeah, I don't. The Blu-ray isn't very good that I have, so I might upgrade that one. We got Big Lebowski coming out.
Nice.
And then just the mother load, October 30th, 2001, and Matrix Trilogy.
Oh, I mean, come on.
Dropping a
hands
lot of
down
money
getting
that.
Day. Hands down, you better believe I'm getting that 2001.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Because that's gonna look incredible. 2001 was my very first Blu-ray that I ever bought.
Yeah, it was one of mine,
and it was incredible at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing at the time.
It was also always my demo disc, like when people got a new TV or something.
Yeah.
I would like bring over 2001.
Because it looked so good.
Mm-hmm. Also,
I love that movie.
Recent discovery. Found this out today at work. I forgot until now. UK only version of The Deer Hunter coming out on 4K next week.
Interesting.
Might have to pop on that one. Just might be a pop, Wes. Just might be a pop.
Might have to grab that one. Yeah.
Are you gonna go? You gonna start branching out
for 4K?
Yeah, getting some dipping your toe into other regions.
Oh, I haven't really looked, to be honest.
There's not a ton.
Though.
There's not a ton.
Yeah.
Got Deer Hunter. I know Neon Demon is out elsewhere.
I'm fine with the Blu-ray on that one.
Yeah, I don't really need that. It seems like, though, I think coming up with some of the more like catalog titles coming out, I think it'll be more of a thing.
Looks like they're re-releasing some of the older Marvel films as well in 4K. Like,
oh yeah,
their first Avengers, Age of Ultron.
Mm-hmm.
Probably won't get those, but it's interesting. And an X-Men trilogy 4K.
Ooh, nice.
Well. Yeah.
Here's
but I already own that on Blu-ray.
Another good UK only 4K that I'm just finding out about right now. Shutter Island. Could look very nice.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I like me some Shutter Island. It's an enjoyable film.
Yeah, I have it on Blu-ray.
You as well.
No release date yet, but I'm definitely gonna pick up Mission Impossible Fallout 4K.
Oh yeah, definitely. Got to.
Yeah, I mean that's a got to.
I'm hoping that they put out some sort of set with those, because I know that it'll probably end up it being like redundant, and I'll have like an extra one, but I don't want to pay $20 individually for each of them on 4K, and I also don't want to buy like two of them, you know.
Well, you can do what I did. I mean, I bought them all. I bought the Blu-ray set right before they announced the 4K, so it was really cheap. Probably still is. I'm fine with that. I'll just continue with 4K from here. You know, I'm not going to buy each of those individually, you know, for that.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
It is a bummer, though, because those spines look very nice. All matching.
They do.
All matching.
They do. It's nice.
But will they keep up the trend with Fallout? I don't think so.
No.
I don't think they will.
They're not going to. No,
I do not think
that's
they
the
will,
end of it.
which is bogus. And this is an even farther side tangent. But have we discussed the...
Oh, we're beyond that.
The artwork from the Fast and the Furious franchise? Have we discussed this on the podcast before?
I don't think so.
I'm not like a huge Fast and the Furious guy, you know. But I have great respect for the perseverance of the people who author their releases. Because there is the worst, shittiest, outdated, terrible art for Fast and the Furious, and they continually release them under the same art that matches. And even the 4Ks, they've put out the same art. And there's been multiple other artworks. Every time there's a new one, maybe they release like a new style of and re-release all the previous movies. And they release them in multiple versions. Like there will be multiple versions of the movie in different connecting patterns, so like you can match them with the ones that you have.
Fair enough. I've noticed this. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It is. Yeah, I totally respect it that they're just sticking to it.
Yeah,
you know.
But then you look at the artwork and it's absolute shit. You know what I mean? Like, like are you looking at these right now?
I'm looking at Fast and Furious, the 4K, the first one.
Yeah, let's see.
And it even has a digit, like it has a number on the corner of the disc.
Oh yeah.
Or corner of the cover. So to make it extra redundant, because also their titles are all over the place.
It's insane.
They put a number.
The least consistent titling structure. Yeah. But the most consistent.
They put a number with it.
Maybe that's why they have to release.
To make it easier
like,
on the...
Yeah, look, these are all the same. You know, like, even though the names don't make any sense.
Right.
But, like, this artwork is objectively bad. But...
Oh, I know.
It's amazing that they still... Because, like, how far back does that go? You know what I mean?
Yeah, seriously.
And they put out the new one in this style. It's amazing. Very commendable.
Kind of respect it for that.
And it's not even like also they put out the new one in only that style, multiple versions.
Yeah.
I can't confirm that with the 4Ks, but at least the Blu-ray, the new one, multiple versions with matching cover art. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it is nice. It'll look real nice on a shelf, you know. It's great. All right, moving on from 4K Blu-rays and all that. But before we get into our main review, I'd like to discuss a special deal from our sponsor. For the listeners of the Listen to Us Rant About Movies podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. You can download your free audiobook today. Go to audibletrial.com/LTURAM. Again, that's audibletrial.com/LTURAM for your free audiobook. Now we're going to move into our non-spoiler segment of our review for BlacKkKlansman.
Hello, this is Ron Stallworth calling. Well, who am I speaking with?
This is David Duke.
Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. That David Duke?
God. Last time I checked. What can I do you for?
Well, since you asked, I hate blacks. I hate Jews, Mexicans and Irish, Italians and Chinese. But my mouth to God's ears, I really hate those black rats. And anyone else, really, that doesn't have pure white Aryan blood running through their veins.
I'm happy to be talking to a true white American.
God bless white America. The KKK is planning an attack.
How do you propose to make this investigation?
We'll establish contact over the phone. We'll need a white officer to play me when they meet face to face.
You for the white race, Ron?
Oh, hell yeah.
So there becomes a combined Ron Stallworth.
Can you do that?
With the right white man, we can do anything.
That was from the trailer of the new Spike Lee film, BlacKkKlansman. A description from IMDb reads, Ron Stallworth, an African-American police officer from Colorado, successfully manages to infiltrate the local Ku Klux Klan with the help of a white surrogate who eventually becomes head of the local branch. Zach, what'd you think of BlacKkKlansman?
I love BlacKkKlansman. I thought it was really good. I was all about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, big fan.
I probably liked it a little less than you.
Okay.
I liked the film, but I was somewhat disappointed. Yeah, I was somewhat disappointed, and I think maybe I hyped it up, and it was also it was definitely different than like the movie ended up being way different than what I went into the movie expecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
were you expecting more of like a straight up like homage to that kind of style?
Yeah, and I don't know. I just expected. I guess I expected a different kind of where the story was going, and let me say this though: I get that there are important and relevant messages in this film, and I don't want to spoil anything yet, but and I respect that, and I totally get that, and I felt the relevance of that, and the importance of those messages in this movie. It's just not really what I really wanted out of it, I guess, and you know, I may not be the right person to speak for this, you know, and again, I respect what it's trying to say and what it's trying to do, but in some ways, like even just like the pacing was not what I was like feeling, and it felt like a little slow and a little too heavy-handed for me. That being said, it sounds like I'm pooping on the movie. I did really like the movie, and I really liked the main character, John David Washington, and Adam Driver's performances. I thought they were awesome, and there were some scenes in here that were really fantastic. Like,
totally,
there's some shots we'll talk about that are like, oh, that's killer. And the way the scenes some like sort of play out, I feel like how the plot developed after the second half, like the second half pacing was what I wanted. Like I wanted that the whole time.
Okay, a little slow on the out the gate for you.
A little too slow on the front end. But there is stuff that I enjoyed about that too. So it's sort of like a complicated, like how I feel about it. I guess it's somewhat complicated. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
I got you.
You want to iterate a little bit more why you loved it?
Yeah, it just felt. I think Spike Lee has a very specific, like, visual language and style that really just is powerful and feels balanced, even with something that's like, you know, goes really big at times. I do think he loves to make movies that are long. Like, all his movies are really long. So I think I was kind of anticipating the pacing. You know what I mean? And for me, I feel like it's not the movie that you necessarily think it is in terms of, like, if it... how am I trying to say this? It's not like a straight up exploitation 70s, like, style. It's
and
very...
I wasn't expecting an exploitation either.
Yeah.
I was just... sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to say, I feel like I was just expecting more of a comedy. Like, I thought it would be, like,
funnier.
A comedy. Yeah. I didn't think it would be, like, campy. I didn't expect campiness.
Yeah, not necessarily campy, but more, like, fast and,
just like a comedic cop film.
Yeah.
Like, almost kind of, like, the same tone as, like, Logan Lucky or something.
Okay, yeah.
Like, that kind of tone I expected. But that's not what this movie is.
I think it is there a little bit, though. Like,
there's hints of it.
I did think it was funny. Like, I laughed a lot. But I also think I was very much not laughing, you know, at other times in the movie.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's, like, so intense. But I guess I just really appreciate the way that you can like strike that balance with something that's like so hard to like sit through at times, but then spin around and like have jokes that don't feel out of place and like you know, land in a movie where you're just like bombarded with like terrible things constantly, you know what I mean?
Right.
I thought all the performances were really good. I really liked the main guy. What's his name? John
David Washington.
Yeah, John David Washington. Yeah, he's really good.
Denzel's son.
Yeah, which is crazy. I didn't realize. He was on Ballers, right?
Yeah, he's in Ballers.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I was really into it when I left the theater, but I mean, obviously, I don't think it would be a spoiler to say that it like ends on a pretty intense note. And
we won't say what happens, but
so it took a lot of time for me to like really think about it like as a movie, but the more I thought about it, it's like I think it's the best thing Spike Lee's done in a long time, and I think it's probably one of my favorite movies that I've seen of his. Like in terms of like watchability, like I don't think it's as good as like Malcolm X or like Do the Right Thing or you know what I mean, but and I haven't seen all of his movies, but I thought it was some of his best work in a long time.
You know what? I will agree with you there. I felt the same way as I left the theater. And you talking about this is sort of making me think about this differently and sort of bringing it back too, because it's been like a few days since I've seen it. And so I've been sort of all over the place, but yeah, I feel like my disappointment lately has somewhat outweighed my initial respect for the film. And bringing it back to that, like I agree, the craft is definitely there, you know, and I do think it's one of his best work in a while, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot compared to some of his other films as well, so I will say that.
I feel like I had some.
Another disappointing thing for me, the score.
Yeah.
It had that one kind of song, which I get. It's also sort of inspired from films in the 70s, which kind of had that sort of theme over and over and over again. But it just, it played itself out for me. Like, I was just like, get a different song, you know? Like, play something else, you know?
I didn't really register that it was similar the whole time.
It was just like, it was just the same kind of like over and over and over again.
I feel like it's a very Spike Lee loves his like slow like R&B piano stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, that's fine, but put some other tracks in there.
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
Throw some other tracks. Yeah, let's I guess final thoughts, and then we'll go into spoilers because there's not much else we can say. But yeah, like I sound like I'm kind of low on it. I'm realizing, but no, I liked the film. I respect the film, and I think it is one of his better films in a while. But I guess I just wanted
something different,
more of a comedy. But that's where I sort of struggle with it, because it's like the powerful message that it gives out is just that, you know, it's super powerful and is relevant and needs to be said. So it's like I think the marketing sort of threw me off. I think that's where it lies. Like, I went into it thinking it'd be one thing and came out feeling something completely different.
Yeah,
maybe I just wasn't prepared for that at the time that I was seeing it, you know.
Yeah. I feel like I just had something that I was gonna say. God damn it.
Powerful message.
That I think it's very good that this is like a wide release movie. Like, it's pretty insane when you really think about it, that like like I went to like the theater around the corner that plays everything, like all the big stuff, and it's playing there. You know what I mean? It's playing in a lot of spots, and I think that's really good because it's definitely really intense. But I don't know. trying to figure out what I should say. I don't know. I feel like you said most of it. It's just really powerful. I thought it was really funny. I really like the performances. I did like the score. Like the cinematography. I honestly don't have much negative to say about it. There's some stuff in spoilers, but...
All right, we're going to go into spoilers starting right now.
When's the last time they let a rookie lead an investigation? Oh, that's right. Never.
Okay, become his friend. Let's get invited back.
So what kind of stuff you guys do?
Cross burnings, marches. This is fixing to be a big year for us.
You ask too many questions. You undercover or something?
We must unite and organize to fight racism.
Are you down for the liberation of black people?
Power to the people.
All power to all the people.
All power to all the people.
That's right, sister.
For you, it's a crusade. For me, it's a job.
You're Jewish. That hatred, doesn't that piss you off?
You're taking this Jew lie detector test.
Why are you acting like you ain't got skin in the game?
I'm telling you, the wars are coming.
White power! Black power!
Knights of the Ku Klux Klan.
That's us, Stallworth Brothers.
We're on a roll, baby.
America first.
America first! America first!
If I would have known this was a Klan meeting, I wouldn't have taken this mother.
All right, so you were saying there were some thoughts and spoilers you want to talk about. Why don't we just go ahead and get to those?
Yeah. Nothing necessarily, like, specific, but I do think the one area of the movie that felt a little strange was, like, the post after the bombing scene happens. Mm-hmm. You kind of left wondering, like what's the legs on this thing here? Like, is this going to end in like 2 minutes, or is there like another 45 minutes of this movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's another thing. Go ahead.
I just think it takes a sec to like re-get its footing and like finish it off. And when it finishes it off, it's really well done. But there was a little area there where for maybe like 10 or 15 minutes where I was just like, I don't know, like what it's going for. And it kind of seemed like it was going for a joke thing of like how everything's like great. You know what I mean? And like, I was like, is he like dead for a second? You know what I mean? Like, is there going to be some like weird like switch here where like that didn't happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then obviously right when I thought that, something negative does happen. But it like stretched out that scene, that segment a little long to where it felt kind of strange.
It did. There was definitely some segments that just kind of dragged. And then there were several, I thought probably like 2 or 3 times where I was like, this is the end of the movie. And then it kept going. I was like, okay. Kind of thrown off by that. There were several times where I was like, that could be a satisfactory ending right there.
Yeah.
You know? But it kept going. But it did end up finding, like you said, its footing again, and had that powerful ending, which I didn't know about at all. I didn't know that they would show that footage and stuff. And it's like, it is kind of crazy that we're still dealing with this fucking bullshit.
Unbelievable.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like that's the craziest thing about it, and that's why I think it's important and powerful. It's like shit is real, and it's like hasn't changed, and it's like it's sort of a wake up call, and that's and that way I want people to go out and see it and be like, look at this fucking shit, man. Like, this needs to stop.
Yeah.
Why is it still happening? Stop. You know.
Yeah. How can these people be like given a platform when it's like based so much in just like blind hate? You know what I mean?
I know. And it's literally becoming, the hate is becoming mainstream.
Yeah, right? Well, that's a really interesting thing in the movie about just like normalizing hate speech. You know what I mean? Like their plan to just like make this the norm, which, you know, seemingly they have accomplished in some sort of regard. You know what I mean? Which is fucked. Like terrible.
It's so fucked. It's awful. And I just their understanding of that, like, it's beyond me. Like, it's beyond whereas anyone could possibly think in that way. And like, what the fuck is wrong with people? It's bizarre. Like, I can't grasp my head around that. That people can be so close-minded and so just dumb.
Yeah.
You know? And one thing I did like about the movie too is I liked how I feel like it struck a nice balance of showing both sides. But one side is way worse.
Yeah.
One side is way worse, but I liked how it showed the Ku Klux Klan, it showed the Black Panthers, and it showed the cops. And you kind of get a glimpse into all of those lives and all of those perspectives. And I did really enjoy that. I thought that was great. And I did like how it also brought a little respect to cops, you know.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
He's a cop, and it's like they're not all bad. Like, and it did show that one asshole guy who was, you know, a total racist.
Yeah. Clearly a giant piece of shit from the get-go in that movie.
A fucking piece of shit. So it does show that that's in the police, you know, police like that exist, but there's also others who are like, no, that's just crazy to think that way, you know.
And it just plays into the fact that it's like you can't make these blanket statements. Like, it's not about these like generalities of like, well, these definitives of like, well, cops are shit. It's like, well, lots of individual people you're signaling out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's
and that's part of the inherent problem, I think, too, from all perspectives. Like, it can't be about blanket statements. It can't be about generalizations.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah, it is all very heavy, and it is, and you said it earlier too. It did find a nice balance of having it with the comedy and also with this very real message of blatant racism and absurdity in this country. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's really fucked, and the movie's really good. I thought.
Now that we've talked about it, I think I actually like it a little bit more, and makes me want to watch it again.
Yeah, I was away. I like saw it the night before I flew out of town, but I almost saw it again yesterday. I just like really want to go see it again. I'm like really itching to go again.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it again. Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe I feel like I had to talk this out a little bit. I had to talk this out because I haven't really talked or thought about it even that much since I watched it. Just, you know, life being busy and stuff. But it's good to be able to talk about it, and makes me like it more and respect it more and want to see it again. It's definitely, it's heavy, and it's worth
definitely heavy. But it's heavy, but like, you know, shit's got to be said. You know, if this is still going on, then like clearly dialogues need to be had. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree. And even before the really heavy stuff, if you just look at it as just like an entertaining kind of 70s film, it has that too.
Yeah.
It has that too. And Adam Driver, I just love him.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I just love him and everything. He's so good.
Yeah, he's incredible.
I like seeing, what's his name? Damn it. The guy who's like the head of Ku Klux Klan, who played that guy.
Oh, Topher Grace.
Yeah, Topher Grace.
Yeah, he was good.
He was good.
Yeah. Yeah, and those scenes are really funny, and the payoff at the end is great when he like reveals it to him over the phone. Just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole thing about Adam Driver being undercover and they like figuring him out. Like there are elements of like the sort of like undercover sort of, you know, which are like that genre, I guess. There's like they do play into that some.
And I enjoyed seeing like the result of how like like Adam Driver, he's undercover, things happen, and how he reacts trying to stay like in his character.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Like when he fires back at the car, I was like, oh shit, that was surprising.
Yeah.
But like he had to, you know, like.
And if you look too, he's just like shooting like the ground.
Yeah, he's sort of just like shooting. Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what's really crazy, which we didn't really touch on, is it's based on a real story.
Yeah, which is
based
unbelievable.
On a true fucking story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre. Like that. The you know, I don't know what I'm saying. This shit's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know what else to say, but
yeah, I don't either. I feel like I just like don't have much negative to say about it, really. But I really enjoyed it. What are you thinking?
For ratings?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
I think I might be going 5-banger on this one.
5-banger? Oh man.
Just thinking about it, like left, and I was like, definitely a 4.5. Is it a 5? And just thinking about the other movies of the year, and just like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just very substantial, but also it's addresses a lot and is simultaneously entertaining. It's unique. I don't know. I was really into it.
Fair enough.
I'd say it would be surprising if it didn't make my my list.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 5-banger, so it probably will.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's definitely one worth respect, and I'm glad it exists.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's amazing that it's wide release, and people should go see it. It's definitely worth checking out, especially in the theater for that ending and that reaction that you get in the theater. It's sort of like a combination of. It's like a combination of guilt and just like recognition and I don't know. You just it is a powerful thing to feel that.
Yeah,
in theater.
And also to be forced to talk about it afterward, or like go home having it in your head and not being able to just like pivot to something else that's happening. You know what I mean? To like to have to like sit with that ending for a while, I think is good.
And it even forces you to sit there in silence for a bit.
Yeah.
And you really feel it there, you know. And that's something.
Just had to get a flag in there. Fucking dude loves his flags. Just had to end on that fucking flag.
Had to end on the flag.
So many flags in his movies, and even like CG texture flags. Dude loves his flags.
Spike Lee loves the flags.
Yeah, big flag fan.
Big flag.
It's true, man. He loves flags. It's true.
Big flag fan. That's hilarious. Oh man. But yeah, BlacKkKlansman. That's going to end our review for this episode, or for that film, and it's going to end our episode for tonight. As always, you can find other episodes of our podcast on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube.
You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and if you enjoy the show, you know, leave us a review. You know, come on, give us a rating. You know,
helps us out. Help us out. And did you agree or disagree with our opinions? You can email us at listentousrantaboutmovies@gmail.com. Thank you to our Patreon producer, Sean Pierce, and our Patreon supporters.
And you too can be a producer or supporter by visiting Patreon, becoming a monthly patron for as little as $1. Go to www.patreon.com/LTURAM podcast.
right. Thanks to the listeners. Zach, good talk.
Yeah, man.
And till next time.
Till next time.